And we're set to go in this game. The officials tonight, Bennett Salvatore, Joe DeRosa, and Benny Adams. This is the 6th and final game of a grueling Western road trip for the Bulls, who will be off, of course, for the All-Star break before they resume play next week. And the same for the Jazz. The tip controlled by Chicago.
Well, naturally, the main offense of the Chicago Bulls will be the famous triangle offense. At the other end of the floor, the Utah Jazz run a set play in every possession in their half-court offensive sets.
Luke Longley against Greg Ostertag. A battle of the centers. This game could be decided off the boards as you're looking at the best rebounding team in the league, the Bulls, and the best defensive rebounding team, the Jazz.
Well, Dennis Rodman is a trip in himself. He's averaging close to 6 offensive boards a game.
Harper with a feed to Longley on the screen and roll, and Luke Longley is fouled by Greg Ostertag.
Now Longley is going to the basket much stronger than in any time in his career. He's giving you 11 points a game. Now this is a strong move with both hands. He was hit hard. Now the big thing for Luke is to step up and make the foul shots. He's averaging at 72% this season.
Longley's scoring has gotten better, as you mentioned. He is the 4th leading scorer at 11-2. The Bulls last year had only 3 players in double figures. He's the 4th, but his rebounding has suffered in the last few games.
Luke is looking for his shot quite a bit now out of the triangle anytime that they hit him in the post area. So you can look for that this evening.
John Stockton and Jeff Hornacek and Jerry Sloan, the Utah coach, telling us that his guards barely undersized compared to the Chicago Bulls backcourt, and the Jazz turn it over on their first possession.
Now the Utah Jazz offense is dictated by the screening of John Stockton and Jeff Hornacek. You'll see them go down in the baseline area and take on the big people of the Chicago Bulls.
Scottie Pippen cutting in the lane, triple team. Jazz could have a suffocating defense. Jordan with a turnaround over Hornacek and misses the mark. Here comes Stockton. Nearly a minute gone by, nearly 2 minutes gone by, and the Bulls lead 2-0. And Karl Malone, who scored 35 points and had 11 rebounds in the game in Chicago, gets the Utah Jazz on the board. Jordan coming off a 15-point effort in only 33 minutes against Denver. So he was well rested in that game. Here's Harper, illegal defense called against the Utah Jazz.
At that time, see, anytime that Harper posts up Stockton, Stockton has given Harper 6 inches. But if I'm Harper, I want to make my move quicker because I can take Stockton, I can shoot over him, and I'll always get a high percentage shot.
Longley going baseline against Ostertag with a reverse layup. Good quick move by Luke Longley, who has the first 4 Bulls points.
For the first time in his career, he's more offensive thinking. Every time he touches the ball, he's looking to score.
John Stockton penetrating, deflected by Harper, and it is still Utah's ball with 11 on the shot clock.
For Utah to execute and get wide open percentage shots, it needs maximum effort by the screeners because Chicago, one of the top defensive teams that we have, from the top of the circle to the basket.
And the Bulls did not do a good job in the second half against the screen and roll in their first meeting in Chicago. Loose ball and a 24-second clock violation against the Jazz. So they've turned it over twice in the first couple of minutes.
Now Jerry Sloan is stunned. Karl Malone is definitely fouled on that penetration to the basket. He is allowing, and he's really on the rookie referee, and you can see his point. He wants to get the foul shot attempts early.
And that was one of the keys in their victory, going to the line 35 times in the game, as you pointed out, against the Bulls. Great pass, Rodman, and a foul inside. Dennis Rodman with a great bounce pass in to Luke Longley.
All they talk about Dennis is his rebounding. Yep, defensive, offense. But one thing about him, high IQ and the ability to make the pass. He can pinpoint passes, and you notice he gets it to the guy so that the man can finish the play.
And Greg Ostertag with 2 quick fouls going to the bench. And here's Greg Foster. Foster had started when Ostertag was benched earlier in the year. Ostertag has had a struggling season. In fact, last night managed only 5 rebounds and 1 point against the Clippers.
Well, the key to this team, if they're going to get back to where they were a year ago, is Ostertag and Russell must step up and get their games back. Now, with Foster coming in, you have a high percentage jump shooter, but you're going to lose out in shot blocking and rebounding.
Foster starting 16 games when Ostertag went to the bench. It is now 6-2 in favor of the Bulls. Off the foot of Hornacek, picked up by Ron Harper. Adam Keefe gets back, but Harper lays it in. And the Bulls starting out sharply, lead 8-2.
That time Utah went for a split. Harper stripped that ball away from one. Here's a little trap now to get Stockton to pick the ball up. Why do you do that? You do it for seconds off the shot clock.
Jazz have turned it over uncharacteristically 3 times already in the opening minutes, and now a 4th. Here is Rodman after Pippen got the loose ball, and Jordan hits the open shot. The Bulls are doing it all, and Jerry Sloan wants a timeout.
Good timeout.
A brilliant start by the Chicago Bulls.
The Chicago Bulls are rested. They were off last night. They're ready defensively, and you can see they're making all of the anticipations. They're active with their hands. Now watch the pass by Dennis Rodman. Come on now, that's a blind pass to Jordan on the other side of the floor. Not only did he see him, he delivered.
That's 2 for Rodman in the passing department. So following the timeout, the Jazz with Foster replaced Ostertag, the only change in their lineup. Hornacek being shadowed by Michael Jordan. Here's Foster, and Longley the rebound.
Well, he'll be tested tonight. The Jazz offensive rebounding, if they're going to get it done in this building tonight, they've got to get to the glass.
There's the lob pass. Jordan couldn't convert, and Rodman loses it out of bounds after valiantly trying to keep it in play. But once again, the Bulls showing some snazzy passing in the forecourt.
Well, that was eye contact Michael had with the man with the basketball. He gave him a head fake, told him where to lay it. See, now right now when the Bulls come out and trap, this is what you've got to do.
And Foster on the layup, going baseline on the feed from Karl Malone. And it is now 10-4. The personal foul is on Scottie Pippen.
Now that's the second time now that they have trapped in the backcourt to make Stockton give up the basketball. When they do that, Utah has an advantage, 4 against 3 from the three-point line to the rim.
Greg Foster hits the free throw. The Jazz have 7 players who are shooting 80% or better from the free throw line, plus 4 players who are 50% or better from the field. So this is a sharpshooting team. Pippen working against Keefe, deflected inside. Longley goes up and a jump ball.
Excellent call. Karl Malone anticipated that and got up on top. That was a very weak move by Longley. Anytime that you're in traffic like that, you'd like to see some kind of a ball fake and then make the defense commit, step through, and go strong to the rim.
And the tip controlled by the Utah Jazz. John Stockton, who missed the first 18 games, recovering from knee surgery. And the Jazz have been better with him. A great pass inside to Malone, and there they are again. Stockton and Malone, and how many years have they performed that matchup?
Yeah, that was a good bump off by Malone. He forearmed Longley right off the top. Now remember, in the early going, Utah Jazz have 4 turnovers, totally uncharacteristic of their style of play.
10-7 the score. The Jazz fighting back down by 3. Jordan gets out of traffic and hits. Michael Jordan with his second field goal, coming in as the leading scorer in the NBA, averaging nearly 29 a game.
Well, anytime Stockton picks up Jordan, he's immediately taking him into the post-up area.
And with Malone, the second leading scorer in the NBA, he misses his perimeter shot. Good hustle by Pippen into the hands of Ron Harper. Bulls by 5. Harper sees an opening and hits, and the Bulls have doubled the Jazz now, 14-7.
Well, they look very sharp. They're terrific on defense. They're holding Utah to 1 shot, and then they are moving and scoring in transition. Yeah, right now, right now,
Stockton the foul.
Yeah, they're going to be all over Adams. Jerry Sloan and the Jazz, they're going to be on him all night if he does not start calling some fouls here.
Malone strong to the basket, but missed the layup a little strong off of the glass after the good move. And the Bulls with a 7-point lead, 6:20 to go in the first quarter, tipped by Foster into the hands of John Stockton. The Jazz, who have trailed throughout, and there is Keefe, Adam Keefe on the feed. And on the other side, Jordan gets free and beats Stockton to the basket. So rapid fire hoops by both teams.
Once again, a great heads-up pass by Dennis Rodman.
Rodman with 3 brilliant assists here in the first quarter under 6 minutes remain.
Screen and roll, or screen and spot up.
Stockton goes behind him alone and hits. He was wide open, and no one of the Bulls went out to challenge him.
Yeah, but see, they run that all the time, Dick. And then what they'll do is he'll go either into the middle or he'll go baseline, and then Karl Malone will spot up.
Scottie Pippen misses a 3. Malone the rebound. So with Steve Kerr out with a broken collarbone and Kukoc's not playing, the top 2 3-point shooters not in the lineup for the Bulls tonight, although Scotty Burrell has played well there. Pippen anticipating the pass on a steal. 3-on-3. Pippen finds Harper, and Harper lays it in. Basket counts. And now let's see, there will be a foul as well. And it'll be on Foster, his first.
That was a great finish by Harper. At the other end of the floor, a terrific anticipation by Scottie Pippen to make the steal. The reason why it came about at the other end is because Karl Malone was getting knocked off the spot by Longley. He has had a difficult time holding his area. Now just watch this pass. Now this is a tough finish right here. That's a tough shot.
The Bulls have 10 fast break points already in this game. Ron Harper with a 3-point conversion, and the Bulls lead 19-11.
Bulls could not have planned this any better. The backcourt trapping is causing problems. Already now the Jazz with 5 turnovers.
Bulls playing like the world champions that they are, but they have the lead at the half in their previous matchup in Chicago. This foul will be against Ron Harper. Howard Eisley has checked into the game for the Jazz, replacing John Stockton. Eisley did a great job, not only against the Bulls when they played at the United Center, but in place of Stockton when he was hurt earlier.
He's had an excellent year, and he's totally under control.
Malone on the offensive rebound, and Karl Malone has 8 of the 13 Jazz points. Pippen comes right back, and Jordan follows with the basket. What an energized group this is.
I have never seen them take the ball out of the net and get it in as quickly as they are doing it tonight.
Adam Keefe from the perimeter misses, and the rebound Longley. Quick pass to Harper. The Bulls are putting on a clinic here in the first quarter. Here is Pippen open. He's got it. And the Bulls lead now 23-13, their biggest lead.
Now, you and I have had the Bulls at least 6 times this year. This is the best that they have looked out of the gate with energy.
By far. Perimeter shot missed by Hornacek, and here is the Pippen coming back. The Chicago Bulls are running the Jazz wild here in the first quarter on the Jazz home court. And they want revenge. Jordan is fouled driving to the basket, and he'll shoot.
Now remember, last night Utah played in Los Angeles, losing to the Los Angeles Clippers, traveled back. You would think that they would be ready for this game this evening because it's such an important game for them, because they want to stay in this race with San Antonio for first place in their division. Now we'd like to show you what's happening here. Utah is scoring. Rodman is jumping out of bounds with the ball. He'll inbound it to Pippen and take off. But watch Michael Jordan get up and beat his man, who is right there down the floor. And what is happening, it's creating a 2-on-1 situation after Utah scores. They're catching the guards, rotating back, and they're getting them in the 2-on-1 set for a major advantage.
15 fast break points by the Bulls, who go to their bench. Scott Burrell and Randy Brown have come into the game for Chicago. Brown feeds the post to Pippen with a turnaround. Brown fighting for the offensive rebound and gets it. Jordan for 3, and he misses off the glass. And the rebound taken down now by Brian Russell, who has come in the game for the Jazz. A great hustle by Scott Burrell to save that ball from going out of bounds.
What a terrific deflection by Scottie Pippen. He dove head first to deflect that ball loose.
3:25 remaining in the first quarter. Scottie Pippen And now Jordan posting up against Hornacek has the height advantage, and Jordan hits Michael Jordan in double figures with 10 points, and a 12-point Chicago lead has silenced this crowd.
Dick, they can get that all night long because Jordan will shoot over the top of Isley, Stockton, Hornacek. It's there for them anytime.
Hornacek comes back and misses on the screen, and the rebound by Luke Longley. And now Pippen right in the open court as he has been throughout his career. And Burrell throws up an air ball from three. Jordan with a reverse layup gets his 12th point of the game. And the Bulls in a 14-point tremendous showing in this first quarter. And the Jazz do not know what's hit them.
And they're doing such a great job on their offensive board. And Utah standing around getting caught flat-footed.
Here is Malone working against Longley, and Jordan gets hit in the face, and the foul will be called against. Let's see if they call it against Jordan.
Oh, there's a technical on Jerry Sloan right now.
It's against Jordan, who claimed he was hit in the face by a Malone elbow.
Well, Malone was trying to split the double team on an offensive move. Jerry Sloan is hot about it. Now just watch as he goes to split. See, as he goes to split, he catches Michael. That an inadvertent foul. Michael doesn't want to hear that. All he knows is the guy, his face almost was disfigured. Okay.
So Jordan will shoot the technical charge to Jazz coach Jerry Sloan. Michael Jordan off to a big start. He scored 32, by the way, in the losing effort against the Jazz back on January 25th. At the United Center.
Now Jerry Sloan is trying to stop the bleeding right now. Right now his team is getting out-muscled, out-quicked, out-rebounded off their defensive board, and his team has lost a lot of confidence because of the turnovers, the rash of turnovers.
Chris Morris in the game as well. Jerry Sloan going to his bench to try to get some answers, and Luke Longley committing the personal foul. So in there for the Jazz right now, Karl Malone along with Jeff Hornacek, Ryan Russell, Chris Morris, and Isley, the point guard. Here's Russell. He was the starter last year, but has struggled this season. And Pippen very nearly picked off another match.
This guy 33, this guy Pippen.
Yeah.
I mean, does he have an influence on this game? I mean, it's just great to see him back, and it's great to see him getting back into condition. He already has 3 steals in this game, and also the fact that he is getting out in the open floor and causing havoc.
Michael Jordan goes to the bench after scoring 12 points. And Ron Harper replaces him. And with 1:53 remaining in the first quarter, it will be Chicago's ball. 28-13. The Bulls doing a terrific job defensively, and then on the transition offense, it's been no contest.
They have to make a strong comeback right now, Utah, against this second unit who has Pippen and Longley out there.
Pippen way off the mark, and the rebound by Hornacek. Behind the back dribble gets by Scotty. And here is Isley for 3, and he's short with it. And the Bulls again with the ball with under a minute and a half remaining in the first quarter. Dick Stockton along with Hubie Brown, Brian Burwell here at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City. Longley going in against Malone, no basket, and a foul before the shot.
I mean, you have to like it. If you're a Luke Longley fan, friend or a fan, you're from Australia, you love this guy. Every time he's catching that ball in that triangle offense, backdooring from the corner, and then what's happening, the big fella is making a strong move to the rim. He just shed Karl Malone.
Luke Longley on the line shooting. The Bulls only 13-12 on the road. This is a team that lost only 11 games away from the United Center last year, struggling on the road, and they look like they're very much at home here on the road in this game. This is a team that beat the Jazz in 6 games in the NBA Finals last June.
You're looking for the second unit right now to get it together for Utah. Let's get some high percentage shots, and let's stop going one-on-one, and let's start feeding the ball to the free cutters.
Howard Isley guarded by Brown, and an illegal defense call against the Bulls. So each team now has been hit with an illegal defense violation.
See, twice Karl Malone has received passes on the post. Cutters have gone down the lane, have not received passes. The players are upset. Karl is trying to do a little bit too much one-on-one right now.
You can't really blame him because he has not had any help. He has scored 8 points and an air ball thrown up by Malone. So that underscores the point you just made, as the Jazz unable to score in 3 minutes and 43 seconds. Longley crashing the boards gets the offensive rebound for the Bulls.
They're hurting them, just hurting them with second shot attempts.
35 seconds remaining in the first quarter. 14 on the shot clock for Chicago. It has been all Bulls. Great pass from Longley to a cutting Scottie Pippen, who has 4 points, and the Bulls lead 32-13. An amazing and impressive Chicago first quarter.
What you like about it is the defense is setting everything up. When they get into their half-court attack, it is just unselfish play, and the screeners are freeing the cutters.
Isley trying to find an opening. Here is Hornacek with 2 on the shot clock. Forces it up, and the rebound by Longley. Here is Ron Harper, and Harper lays it up and gets the basket and draws the foul with 0.3 seconds to go in the first quarter. And what has hit the Utah Jazz coming off the loss to the Clippers last night?
Now see, at that end, Hornacek thought he was fouled hard, and this is just a great strong move, and that was a hard foul, no doubt about it, but the player was going for the block.
Harper will shoot the free throws, and this will be the final attempt for the first quarter. Already Harper 4 of 5 from the field and 9 points.
Well, we know Harper can do it. He's averaged over 20 points a game 3 different seasons in the NBA. A couple in Cleveland and 1 with the Los Angeles Clippers.
You got to remember, he was quite the scorer in Cleveland. Michael Jordan with 13 points as the Bulls end the first quarter with a 15-0 run. And I don't remember when I've seen the Bulls play a better quarter this year. 35-13 Chicago after 1. And welcome back to the Delta Center as we start the second quarter. The Chicago Bulls with a 35-13 lead. Michael Jordan with 13 first quarter points.
At the end of the first quarter, Chicago shooting 52%, 5 offensive rebounds, 18 fast break points to 2, 5 offensive boards. Utah struggling, 33% from the field, 6 turnovers.
Brian Russell with Karl Malone, Howard Isley, Chris Morris into the game, and Shandon Anderson making his first appearance. So only Karl Malone of the 5 who started the game in there for the Jazz.
Well, when you go back and you look at that explosion, Dick, Stockton was on the bench. They came with the second unit. You thought this is when they would step it up. Unfortunately, they were taken to the cleaners.
Randy Brown trying to get it to Jason Caffey, who loses the ball, but taken back by Rodman. And here is Scott Burrell. And they're going to reset the clock. They have a clock problem on the 24-second clock. For the Bulls, besides Burrell and Caffey, Randy Brown, Ron Harper, and Dennis Rodman for Chicago starting the second quarter, and they have a chance to rest many of their starters now.
Now, we know that Utah, they're not happy with their style of play up until now. Yeah, they have a 30-15 record, but they are 5-10 against teams in the Pacific Division. Plus, the second half of the schedule is much tougher than the first half.
Randy Brown hits the jumper, yet Jerry Sloan was serenely confident that he thought his team could get back to the NBA Finals this year, despite the fact that Seattle and the LA Lakers seem to be the dominant teams out west. Driving the baseline, Malone out to Russell. Here's Chris Morris, and Morris is fouled from behind. Chris Morris, who was a free agent pickup from the Nets a couple of years ago, and frankly has been a disappointment to the Utah Jazz.
Well, he's only been in 22 out of 44 games, and the reason is he's shooting right at 30%. We're talking about a guy who came here averaging close to 14 points a game when he was at New Jersey. They took a gamble on him. They thought that he would step in here and solidify their small forward position. Now, unfortunately for him, Russell beat him out as a second-round draft pick, and then also Adam Keefe from Stanford has moved over from the power forward position, and also, so now he's a third small forward.
And you can see the Jazz are having trouble really solidifying that small forward position. John Stockton, you see, coming back in, as well as Michael Jordan. And Morris's free throws stop an 18-0 Chicago Bulls run. Bulls lead, though, 37-15.
Anytime that you get outscored 8-0, 10-0, 12-0, you're trying to develop an inside game, get to the foul line, stop the jump shooting and the bad shots. But unfortunately, they're maximizing things by turning the ball over.
Brian Russell is getting the arm of Michael Jordan after a couple of feints, and Jordan will go to the free throw line. Michael Jordan coming into the game as a 80% free throw shooter. Jordan, who had led the All-Star voting for a record 9th consecutive time. We were hoping to see you out on the slopes of Nagano, but you elected to come here to see the Bulls and the Jazz.
I'll be in an old-fashioned sled being drawn by horses.
That'll be a sight. Stockton having the ball knocked away by Randy Brown, and Brown committing the foul.
Dick, I just can't say enough about the Chicago defense. Their hands, they are so quick tonight, and they are moving their feet. It's difficult for Utah to beat them off the dribble, and then the deflections. They're getting pieces of passes and also deflecting dribblers.
Jazz haven't gotten a field goal in 6.5 minutes. And Utah struggling big time. Karl Malone has 8 points. Keith with 2, Foster 3, and Morris 2, and that's all she wrote for the Utah Jazz, with nearly 2 minutes gone by in the second. Morris with a wild 3-point miss, and the rebound by Jordan. Bulls have yet to turn the ball over. They are playing a flawless game thus far. Scotty Burrell off balance, loses it, and there is the first turnover by the Chicago Bulls. Don't blame me. Morris going in, changing hands, and draws the foul.
Now that was an excellent move by Morris, taking that dribble with the crossover and then ending up by trying to finish the play with a left-handed move. At the other end of the floor, Burrell just slipped. When he gets down inside, you can see him fall backwards, and they get the shot block right there by Morris. Now just watch as he decides to explode and take it strong.
Foul is on Michael Jordan, his second personal, and so Chris Morris hitting the first of 2 free throws. The Utah Jazz coming in with a 19-4 record here at the Delta Center. They lost to Seattle last Wednesday. Their other losses to the Trailblazers, the Lakers, and the Washington Wizards in the 3rd game of the season. Morris with 2 free throws, and that makes the score 39-17 Chicago.
Right now with this unit on the floor, they have Russell guarding Michael Jordan.
Big shooting disparity, 52% to 32%, but Randy Brown gets the basket, and they have changed that last personal foul to Scotty Burrell from Michael Jordan. So Jordan still with only 1. Here's Morris driving in and lays it in. Good feed from John Stockton on the outside. And the Bulls lead 41-19, but right now trading baskets isn't going to get it done for Utah.
No, they need to stop, Dick, and you're right about that. That was just a beautiful backdoor move by Morris from the top of the circle.
Stockton knocking the ball away, and his last touch by Randy Brown. And it'll be Utah ball.
Yeah, Randy's got to be careful here. He didn't like the 1 foul on Stockton at the other end, and then you can see it right here as he makes it. Stockton with a good hand. Now Brown feels that he gets cross-body blocked right there by John Stockton.
Got a point. Meanwhile, that last basket by Morris was the first field goal by the Jazz in 7.5 minutes, and now Utah turns it over once again. 8 turnovers already for the Utah Jazz, and we have 8:48 remaining in the second.
This is a perfect example of a team not being ready mentally for this type of aggressive defense. And it happens when you have quickness. And you'll see it a lot of times when a varsity team in high school works out against a JV team. They have too much quickness for them. And that's almost what we're seeing here in this first half. And they're just too quick. They cannot beat them. Anytime they elevate, The hand is in the face, and nothing good is happening up until this point.
They're beating him to the punch after Jason Caffey's loose ball foul Shandon Anderson in his second year from Georgia, and an impressive potential star in this league brings the Jazz to within 20.
The staff loves Shandon Anderson and what he brings to the table.
And an offensive foul called against the Bulls. And it'll be against Dennis Rodman. Rodman with his first foul tonight.
Now keep an eye on Rodman here. Now he's going to go down inside. Now he has a hold in hand. Now there it is right there. He put the elbow out. That was automatic. Anytime that you catch a guy above the shoulders, they're going to call that.
And that was on Antoine Carr in the game for the first time. Anderson going up, and he is fouled. Scottie Pippen not agreeing with that call, and if it is against Scottie, it'll be his second.
Now you step back from all of this, you look at it and you say, it's a 48-minute game. Can the Bulls keep up this type of intensity? And then can Chicago, get after this lead and just bring it down to 10 or 12 by halftime? You get that, you're back in this, and everything will be fine.
And if there is a team that can do that against the Bulls, it would be the Jazz.
Yeah, and we said that early, that they get to the foul line. See, Utah gets to the foul line 32 times a game. That's second in the list. And if you notice in the first quarter, nothing was going well. They only shot one foul shot, but they have now come out here in this quarter, and in the first 4 minutes of this quarter, they're at the line shooting their 7th foul shot. Now, if he makes this, now they're 6 to 7 during the stretch.
Meanwhile, Dennis Rodman replaced by Longley. Here is Caffey, loses control, and an offensive foul called against Jason Caffey. So he has been a bit out of control since coming in, and a chance for the Utah Jazz to take advantage of many of the bench, but we've got Pippen, Longley, and Jordan in there.
Yeah, but I like what they're doing. See, Caffey should have caught that and passed the ball to Michael Jordan, and that wouldn't have happened. They would never have called that. But instead, Caffey takes the pass, puts it on the floor. But you got to be impressed. The Bulls are out quick.
Jazz trailing 41-22. John Stockton in there along with Carr, Morris, Russell, and Anderson. Carr with a fall away, and the rebound by Michael Jordan, who comes in, by the way, as the second leading rebounder for the Bulls.
Yeah, he averages over 6 a game. That's behind Rodman, pushing 16 a game.
Longley with a shot, rebound by Burrell, knocked away nicely on a good strip by Brian Russell. Stockton for 3, and the Jazz have been throwing up bricks largely from the perimeter thus far in this game. Jordan with a great feed to Burrell, and Scottie Burrell, who scored 24 in the game against Denver on Monday, all coming in the fourth quarter, breaks into the scoring column.
Anytime Michael puts the ball on the floor, they're looking to double team him, and the free man is opening up in front of the basket. They're hitting him every time.
Here's Brian Russell. Morris. Carr wasn't ready for that pass from Russell, who misses the lay-in. And right now, the Utah Jazz playing a bit out of control, and the foul on Morris, Pippen.
Yeah, they needed that foul, Dick, because that was a 2-on-0. Now keep an eye on Michael elevating. Now look to the middle of your screen, and you'll see the movement without the ball. They catch Anderson looking to help out on a double team on Jordan.
Scottie Pippen arguing that it should be a 2-shot foul situation, that Morris prevented the lay-in by Pippen, who was flying down midcourt.
Yeah, I think the referee's going to say yes, but the defender was in front of Pippen. He wasn't behind him. He was in front of him.
Here is Burrell, and the rebound by Russell. So the Bulls have cooled off the shooting department. And now the Jazz with 6:19 to go in the first half, going to Morris, who tried a Blind laying, blocked by Longley. Jordan lays it in, and no way John Stockton was going to stop Michael.
Oh, they're pretty tonight. You get the ball out, and if you notice, Pippen is usually in the middle of the break, and he makes excellent decisions.
17 for Michael Jordan. Harper has 10. 2 players in double figures for the Bulls. Morris misses a layup and then converts with under 6 to go in the half.
Well, they're all so anxious down inside. There's so much frustration tonight if you're a Utah Jazz guy, and everyone's trying to get 4 points on every layup. You have to relax, get together, and it must come from the defensive end of the floor first.
Jordan from the left side of the floor now with 19 first half points. And it's a 47-24 lead with 5.5 remaining. Utah 31% shooting plus 9 turnovers. It's been all Chicago from the opening tip. Malone gets the basket and gets the foul on a circus basket, to say the least, for Karl.
That was a break. You know, you're looking there saying, hey, for all the things that we've missed here this evening, now just watch. Here's your bump right there. Karl just throws it at the rim. That wasn't an old-fashioned hook. You can see he was desperate to get it up because he heard the whistle.
Dennis Rodman will come back in. Longley picking up his second foul. Karl Malone will be playing in his 11th straight All-Star game. He was the MVP back in '89 and co-MVP in the '93 game right here in Salt Lake City with his teammate John Stockton.
Well, he's having a wonderful year when you consider that he needs an operation, and when they operate on that tendon and they, strap it up, he's going to have to sit out for 2 months. So it will happen this summer.
Winding down to 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Scottie Pippen with the miss.
Get it out.
And Malone quickly gets it out to Brian Russell, to a driving Stockton, and John Stockton with his first field goal of the game. Stockton coming in, averaging nearly 13, and finally gets into the scoring column.
Yeah, that's their first real driving layup, something which the fans have grown accustomed to seeing here. The 2-on-1, 3-on-2 score.
Pippen throws it away. Hornacek in second, Stockton in a 2-on-1, and Burrell knocks Hornacek down.
Now Jerry's got to sit down because he went right into Rose's face, and he wanted 2 shots and the ball. He thought that was a deliberate foul to injure the player. And they did get it. Now just keep an eye on this. Now watch Burrell. Wow, see, he lets him go. Forget the right hand. It's the forearm with the left hand right in the face. Jerry got up, he got the call.
So the foul on Burrell, and Hornacek, who comes in as the second leading free throw shooter in the NBA at 89%. And that is his first points of the game. Karl Malone, who now has 11,000 career rebounds. Last week moved into 6th place on the all-time scoring list in the victory against Golden State, and making another run for MVP honors.
Now you're going to see the 11,000 rebound right here for Karl. And by the time this guy gets finished playing, he's going to be in the top 4 or 5 in all the key categories.
4:28 to go. The Jazz with a 7-0 run of their own here. Have cut the deficit to 16, believe it or not. Stockton fouled by Randy Brown. And the Jazz trying to make a late run here in the second quarter.
Well, Dick, as we look at this half, we have 4 minutes and 19 seconds to go. Your 3 key scorers are Malone, Hornacek, and Stockton. Hornacek and Stockton cannot get off a clear shot opportunity. That's great defense by the guard core of the Chicago Bulls.
And it's reflected in the fact that Hornacek and Stockton right now have a total of 5 points.
And you know they are not going to beat a playoff team, and especially a playoff team of the caliber of the Chicago Bulls. Even though the game is at home, if these 2 guys cannot get 10 points each. And you know, we have plenty of time to play here right now. They just need a little string, you know, like a 6-0, an 8-0, and then where they can get their heads up high, get the game down to 10 or 12 by halftime.
Stockton trying to give the Jazz a 9-0 run, and he does. It's 47-33 with 4:19 to go. You saw Ron Harper replace Randy Brown in the Bulls backcourt. Michael Jordan with 19 points, and elevates at the top of the key. 21 for Michael Jordan. Not yet thinking of North Carolina's big battle against Duke tomorrow night, Hubie.
Oh, yeah, you're right about that one. Now, that was a beautiful screen and roll. And Scottie Pippen cut right down the lane and was also open. The Bulls can go back to that. That looks good for them right now.
7 on the shot clock for the Jazz. 3:45 remaining in the first half. Brian Russell hits a three. And the first three-point basket of the night. And that brings the Jazz to within 13 points. You know, as Hubie mentioned, they're trying to get it into single digits before the end of the first half.
We said about 3 minutes ago, can Chicago continue this high-intensity effort, which we witnessed for a quarter and a half?
It's like a pitcher with a great fastball. You know that he's going to lose a yard off of it, usually by the 6th or 7th inning, and that may be happening to the Bulls here.
Well, you notice that there's no panic here.
Another three. John Stockton. John Stockton with a three-pointer, and now it's a 10-point game with under 3 to go.
See, it's interesting right now on this run that the Bulls have not used a timeout. And it's whether a 20-second timeout or wasting one. They're just sitting on this.
It is a 15-2 run by the Utah Jazz. Rodman throwing up the air ball.
Nice.
Here's the lead pass to Morris.
Yes!
And the Jazz have come back big here in the latter stages of the second quarter. And a foul.
They have been waiting, and so has that man. They've been waiting for the explosion. And just watch his eyes. This is just a great pass right on the money, and Morris sends it down strong because Rodman had a chance at a possible shot clock.
Dennis Rodman with the foul. And with 2 minutes, 33 seconds to go, the Jazz at 1 point, down by 24, but that run has narrowed the deficit to 8. We'll be right back.
We'd like to show you what Chicago has if they want to run it. Anytime that Pippen hits Jordan over here and Rodman sits a back screen, Pippen is open going to the rim. And you're going to see it right now. This is available for them. You can see they're catching the defender on the top side. Now they'll come with a screen and roll, and then what will happen is Jordan will open up in the middle. Now we know that that is there. So that's something which they can go to. But Dick, I'm really shocked that Chicago just went 17-2 and finally called a timeout. You know, a lot of coaches will use a timeout after an 8-0 run, 10-0 run, and they'll sometimes shorten it when you're on the road.
There'll be 2 shots to make 1, and then they'll get it out of bounds. Bennett Salvatore coming over to explain how they're going to handle this situation. The Utah Jazz have scored 17 points in less than 3 minutes in a furious comeback in the game. And there you see the turnover story as the Bulls have turned it over 6 times here in the second.
Yeah, now that's a big stat. They got away from what they were doing because you know yourself that Jordan can post up at any time and get an easy shot, and some things are there for them this evening.
Now Morris has another chance to make the free throw, and then the Jazz will get it out of bounds. Chris Morris with 10 points off the bench. He's been the forgotten man for the Utah Jazz, who are 11 of 13 as a team from the free throw line. Bulls, as you see, have yet to miss, and Morris misses them both. And there's Joe DeRosa explaining to Phil Jackson the ruling.
Yeah, now that time we had the layup. We had the hard foul. It looked like he was going for a hard foul, and they gave him a two situation and the ball on the side. That could have been a 4-point play and the basketball.
And it may be a nothing play. Morris misses, and they get nothing out of it. The Utah Jazz rally blunted for the moment, but trailing 49-41 after being down by 24. Jud Buechler in the game for the first time. Michael Jordan working his way against Russell, misses from the baseline. Rebound by Morris. Here's John Stockton pushing it up, and the lay-in by Russell misses, and Burrell with a rebound.
I'll tell you, he cleared Chris Morris when he swung his elbows that time.
He wanted no part of the burly Scotty Burrell, and driving to the baseline is Michael Jordan, and a foul is called.
Ever since the Chicago Bulls have gone small with Rodman as the center, they have been getting beat. Not only no offensive rebounds, turnovers, and then getting beat in transition.
Harper off the glass misses. Rodman gets it out to Buechler, and a new clock with 1:34 remaining in the first half. Bulls trying to stop the bleeding in their own right here.
Burrell just backdoor Hornacek, wide open.
Jordan again with the miss. And finally, the rebound by Chris Morris.
Chris Morris is doing a good job. Some things are going good, some things are going bad. Now, that could have been an offensive foul.
And it was. Karl Malone called for the offensive foul. That is his second.
Yeah, now he's upset, but that was a good call. Now, Chris Morris, everything's not going right for him. The ball's not going in sometimes, but he's making a ton of things happen. Now, watch Malone go right into, now you say, oh, that's a little acting. Yeah, it was a little acting, but he did anticipate and beat him to the spot and took it right in the chest.
You know, it's interesting that Dennis Rodman has more assists than rebounds so far in this game. But that's the story for Rodman, who has yet to score. Here is Jordan, and Jordan with a pump in the air, now with 23 points in the first half, and the Bulls up by 10 with under a minute remaining.
Anytime Jordan is on the move in this game tonight, he's gotten a high percentage shot.
Malone has a shot blocked by Jordan from behind. Michael Jordan with the defensive gem, and the clock running down. 17 on the shot clock. Jordan comes back, and they're going to call the loose ball foul. Jud Buechler storming in, and they'll call Buechler for the personal.
Yeah, over the back. Now, Chris Morris, in his limited time, has 10 points and 5 minutes. He's really making a lot of things happen out here. Now, Jordan misses this one. He's contested by Hornacek, and watch to the left. Jud Buechler in the lower back just pushed his man.
And Brian Russell on the free throw line. Russell struggling this year in the shooting department. 38% from the field, 29% from threes, and missing the free throw here. Randy Brown has replaced Scottie Pippen. 1 out of 2 for Russell, and it's a 9-point Chicago lead. Michael Jordan has taken 19 shots already in this game, and he has 23 points. Ron Harper with a smooth jump shot and an 11-point Chicago edge.
Now, Harper has had a very solid first half. Rushing no shots, taking them within the offense, and in scoring.
12 points for Ron Harper. And now playing for what may be the last shot, differential of about 4.
High screen and roll, or high screen and pop up.
Brown stays with Stockton. Hornacek with a tough shot. He had Harper in his face, and Jeff Hornacek with a very tough 3. And 5 seconds remaining.
Plenty of time.
Michael Jordan to Buechler, fires away for 3, and he hits a 3-pointer with 1.1 on the clock. And here is Morris's final effort, and that'll do it. But the Utah Jazz tried to get it under 10 at the half. They did for a while. They got it to 8, and will go down trailing the Bulls by 11. It's been Jordan and Harper, the backcourt tandem.
Well, that last play was a perfect example. Utah scores, falls asleep defensively, and Chicago scores quickly. Yeah, but the shot attempts, 19 for Michael. Now, Michael, during the course of the year, averages 23 attempts a game. So, you know he's going to bypass that tonight. But at playoff time, Michael's shot attempts go up to 28 a game, and that's what we're seeing here this evening.
These teams played to a 49-49 tie at the half. 10 days ago in Chicago when the Jazz won 101-94. Karl Malone with the first basket to start the Jazz off. They're down now by 9. So for the Bulls, they have Ron Harper and Michael Jordan along with Scottie Pippen with the ball. Dennis Rodman and Luke Longley, their starting 5.
Rodman only had 2 rebounds in that first half.
And both were offensive rebounds. Knocked away by Keith out of bounds, and it's Utah's ball.
Right there. Now Pippen is arguing a little bit, but Pippen could have been called for a foul. He definitely knocked Stockton out of bounds.
So the Jazz down by 9 points in the first minute of the second quarter.
Right now, Chicago, they need a healthy Pippen to push this break if they're going to keep up that style that got them the big lead in that first quarter.
Stockton going through, splitting the defenders, knocked out of bounds, last touch by the Bulls. 8 seconds for the Jazz to attempt a shot, and a good point because it was Scottie Pippen in the open floor that sparked the transition points early. Malone finding Ostertag out of bounds, last touch by Rodman, so 7 on the shot clock.
Utah needs Ostertag to come in big now. Intimidation in the lane, get the shot blocking, you're 9th in the league in shot blocks, but then take care of the defensive boards.
Ostertag and 2 quick fouls, played only 2 minutes of the first half and did not score.
Well, they need his presence, Dick. He's 7'1" with long arms.
Played well in the playoffs last year, but a disappointment so far this year. Karl Malone hitting his second from the perimeter, now has 15. And Malone coming in averaging nearly 26, second behind Michael Jordan in the NBA scoring parade. Rodman is guarded by Malone. Here is Pippen with the shot, and he hits a 3 for Scottie Pippen, coming in averaging 28% from three-point territory.
Now the Bulls hit the pivot that time, and they did not run their backdoor series. They ran a split series, and hopefully we'll be able to show it to you. That was a nice screen.
Yes, it was. And they took advantage of it. And here's Malone, who's hot coming out of the shoot in the third quarter. 3 for 3 from the field, and it's an 8-point game again. This is as close as the Jazz have come since they were down by as many as 24 in the first half. And the personal is against Adam Keefe, his second personal.
Now Karl Malone is opening up early here in this quarter for easy shot attempts. They've got to start closing the distance on him and belly him up, you know, rough him up a little bit like happened at the beginning of the game.
They've been working on Keefe, whistle, and no basket, and they foul before the shot. What does the Malone perimeter shooting do for the Jazz to set up other things?
Well, what it does is it opens up all of the screening on the baseline for the cutters and the wing people. And by that, you're going to get easy scores down inside.
Karl Malone picking up his third personal foul, and good ball movement. Longley feeding Scottie Pippen, who has 9 points, including a 3 here in the third quarter, and it's a 10-point Chicago advantage.
I'd say Ostertag was so soft on that. He allowed the pass into Longley, played him soft, and that opened up the lane for Pippen.
Illegal defense and a technical foul will be coming up against the Chicago Bulls, who are protesting the Bennett Salvatore.
Well, they just can't figure out which guy was the guy. Now you can see Phil is now about down on the baseline area, and it must involve Luke Longley, because Bennett Salvatore is definitely telling Longley what he did incorrectly.
Hornacek will be shooting the technical foul. Chicago Bulls, this could be, and very likely, their last run at a championship with this group.
Now you're going to see right there, see Luke Longley is down 2 areas away. If his man is above the top of the circle, he must be above the foul line. If his man is inside the circle, he's got to be above the dotted line.
John Stockton uses a screen from Karl Malone to hit. Stockton, who started late in the scoring department, now has 9, but he's got 10 assists. That's as many as he had against the Bulls when they met in Chicago. It's a 7-point game now as the Jazz creep closer, and a turnover. Stockton gets it away when Jordan lost it. Karl Malone lays it in, and the Jazz all of a sudden down by only 5.
That was a good belly up on Michael. Michael dribbled that ball off of his foot, and it bounced away from him.
And the Bulls continue to play, even though the Jazz, and no timeout yet by the Chicago bench.
Oh, good defense.
Jordan goes up and a block out of bounds, and it's last touched by the Jazz.
Now just watch, see Michael, the ball just flips away from as it hit his foot, went up at an angle, and then Stockton, excellent decision. Get it to the big fella. Always reward the big men when they run hard.
19 for Malone, 8 here in the third quarter. Ron Harper robbing the rebound, and a loose ball foul called against the Bulls. And that'll go against Dennis Rodman. That's 3 on Rodman, and the Utah Jazz, who were blown out of things here in the first quarter, have come back, and they're in this very much.
Now you can see right there, Rodman pushed Karl Malone in the lower back, pushed him out of there.
Malone after a fake hit.
Oh, he's feeling it.
And the Jazz 6 for 7, he'll be from the field, and Malone is 5 of 5. Timeout Bulls.
Right now, Longley continues to play off of Karl Malone. And by doing that, you're giving Karl, he's on a run now. You see, he's just looking at him. Get up, force him to put the ball on the floor, and make him do something different. You've given him 5 uncontested shots.
And it's a 3-point lead for the Bulls. .345 going by in the third, and the Jazz have climbed to within 3.
We'd like to show you the Bulls. See, when the ball goes into the post area here, instead of them running their backdoor series, you're going to see a screen, and then you're going to see another screen, and Pippen is going to come right behind and get wide open. Now just keep an eye on this now. As the ball goes in, no backdoor series. Here's your first screen, and there's your second screen, and they open Pippen up for that 3-point shot.
Michael Jordan has yet to score here in the third quarter. Karl Malone has outscored the Bulls team 10-5 here in the third, and illegal defense is the call against the Jazz. And the technical free throw will be coming up now for Chicago.
Yeah, see, that's costly. Ostertag, man, is out past the top of the 3-point line. When you're out there as a defender, you must be above the foul line extended. He was way below it, looking to help out on a double team.
So Michael Jordan still scoreless here in the third quarter, as the Jazz have come the closest they've been since 4.5 minutes into the game when they were trailing 10-7.
Remember, anytime they want a good shot, all they have to do is run Michael in on the post, in the triangle. Michael will shoot at will up over the top of Hornacek.
By the way, that was the first miss from the line by the Bulls tonight. Here is Longley. Can't do anything against Ostertag, who plays him well. Keefe all over Pippen, but 6 on the shot clock. Scottie Pippen going in, and they'll call Keefe with the push.
Yeah, that was a good call. He ran a rocker move. He just lulled Keefe to sleep, and then as he went to go to his left hand, Keefe came right up in there with a hand check.
That's 3 on Keefe. Karl Malone also has 3, as the Jazz went from 39% to 86% shooting between the first and second quarters. Pippen, and it was last touched by the Jazz with plenty of time on the shot clock for the Bulls.
Now, if you notice, the designated double teamer for Utah is John Stockton. What you must do when Stockton leaves the double team, you've got to find his man because he's open.
Stockton is guarding Harper, and they go to the post-up man Jordan. Double team on him. Harper nowhere to go with it, and a 3-second violation is called. The Utah Jazz played that perfectly.
That time Michael was triple teamed on that post-up, and when he made his spin, he had a bad angle. He was behind the backboard to release that shot.
Ever since the Bulls led by 24, the Jazz have outscored Chicago 41-20. to come back in this game. They already won the game in Chicago, looking for a sweep over the Bulls, the team that beat them in 6 in the NBA Finals last season. Stockton with Jordan all over him, a three-point shot attempted. Keith with the offensive rebound, out of bounds, and it is still Utah's ball.
Yeah, good call. That was off Harper. Right now, anytime that Stockton is penetrating, they're trying to free up Hornacek on the opposite side of the floor, outside for a three. But Jordan is staying home on Hornacek.
Harper is guarding Stockton. Pippen comes off the foot of one of the Jazz, and a turnover. Utah turned it over early and then protected the ball quite effectively until the last turnover. And a great block by Ostertag on Harper, and the Bulls maintain possession, but the shot clock running down to 5. Jordan finds 3 on the clock. He's going to shoot it. Michael Jordan at the buzzer on the front rim, but Rodman had it and lost it to Adam Keefe. Malone over Pippen. He's got it.
He's got it. He's right.
He's unstoppable here in the third quarter. Karl Malone has 12 points on 6 for 6 shooting, and the Bulls lead down to a precious 1 point.
Do you think the tendon is causing a problem?
He doesn't know what it's
He's got the feel right now.
Pippen with a miss. Ostertag with a tough rebound.
That's the thing.
And the Jazz looking to take their first lead of the game. Adam Keefe. No, but the free throw attempt coming up, and the Jazz, who were way down early by 24, can take the lead for the first time.
Strong move by Keith that time. Now right here, you can see that Keith jams Rodman, and then they get into the open floor. And this is just Malone once again taking his time and setting up.
Adam Keefe, 82% from the free throw line with an unorthodox semi-jump shot from the stripe, has tied the game at 61. Keefe, who has started 38 of the last 39 games and has been a better rebounder than scorer, looking to give the Jazz a 10-0 run here, and their first lead, which he does. The Jazz lead it 62-61.
Big day for Keefe, January 19th.
Yes.
He and his wife. They had twin daughters. Everyone very healthy, happy forever.
Yes. And now he's a starter, doing the job at small forward.
Pippen
is shaken up. He's hurt.
Yeah, he's hurting.
Michael Jordan hits his first shot of the third quarter, 1 for 3 here in the third, and 25 in the game.
They got to take a serious look. Yeah, they're coming with Scott Burrell right now for Pippen. Yeah, he's hurting right now.
Bulls regain the lead by 1. Pippen knocks down Adam Keefe to the floor and is called for the foul. He's going to come out anyway. And that's 4 on Scottie Pippen, and he was angry when he knocked Keefe down.
You're going to see this right now. Keep an eye on it right there. You can see he just hooked right underneath Keefe and knocked him to the floor. Pippen is hurting, no doubt about it. It's that hamstring.
Brian Burwell reporting on it at halftime, and we'll get a further report from Brian before long. Howard Eisley, the backup point guard, in for Stockton. Hornacek goes up a 3, and a loose ball foul called against the Jazz. And Adam Keefe has picked up his 4th personal foul. Brian Russell will check in for the Jazz, and there is Scottie Pippen, who's hurting. Keefe goes out, Russell is in. And as you mentioned, Scott Burrell getting the call for the injured Scottie Pippen.
Well, Burrell has stepped up and has given him quality minutes.
Here is Harper trying to post up against the smaller Eisley. Bulls guards have had the height advantage all night. Longley with a wild hook. Harper with a follow. Ron Harper now with 14.
Even if you do not score by posting Harper, even if he doesn't take the shot, he has such a height advantage on Stockton for the offensive rebound, and that came into play.
And the Bulls guards can post up all night against all of the Utah backcourt people. Here's Karl Malone. He's given the Jazz the lead here. Misses the shot. His first miss of this third quarter. The rebound now in the hands of Jordan.
Yeah, Longley just out-muscled Ostertag.
Winding down to 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. This is a game symbolic of the finals, which these teams played last year. One of the best matchups of the regular season. And there is Michael Jordan with 27 on the game, and the Bulls lead by 5 again.
I like Michael when he's moving tonight, Dick. And we said it early in that first quarter and a half. Anytime he's on the move, he's getting great looks.
And he steals. Jordan with the stop. And Michael Jordan, and you got to remember what kind of an outstanding defensive player he has been throughout his career.
Well, he's only been on the All-NBA first team 8 times with Bobby Jones. They both did it 8 times.
That's right. 8-0 run by the Bulls. 6 points coming by Michael Jordan, who's got 29. And a foul as Karl Malone trying to go baseline.
As good as the Jazz are playing right now. Now keep an eye on the steal. Michael anticipates, gets that long arm out. And you know, for many years before he went into baseball, he was always in the top 3 or 4 guys in the league in steals year after year.
Scottie Pippen being worked on. That was Dennis Rodman's 4th personal foul, and a steal by Harper. And Ron Harper misses the layup.
Oh, what a break.
Big break indeed for the Utah Jazz.
Never lay it up over the rim unless you're going to dunk it. Play the board, make it easy.
I've always felt that way. But you're right, it should have been the easy 2.
Back to our point, then. The Jazz are playing great. You think that they're, and you look up at the scoreboard, Chicago's still up 7.
They got close, they had the lead, but they're down again. Bulls lead by 7 with under 3 minutes in the third. Scottie Pippen has been worked on. Let's get a report from Brian Burwell.
Thank you. I just talked with Chip Schaefer, the trainer, and Scottie did re-injure it. They're working on it. They're trying to get him back in the game. He was wearing compression shorts and had a rubber sleeve trying to gain some support on it. And they're loosening it up, and he looks like he's going to try to get back in this ball game. We'll have to wait and see.
Scottie Pippen missing the first 35 games as a result of foot surgery, and the Bulls 10-3 since Pippen's return. Howard Eisley, the point guard, who had a 14-point game on 6 for 12 shooting in the first matchup between these teams in Chicago. Brian Russell hits a 3 as the buzzer sounded.
That's what they want from him.
7 for Russell, and his second triple of the night, and the Bulls lead now is 4. Burrell trying to get it into Longley, guarded by Ostertag. Loose ball picked off by Eisley. So another Chicago turnover, and a chance for the Bulls to get closer. Hot hand for Brian Russell. He hits his second 3 in a row, and it is now a 1-point Chicago lead. How quickly that lead evaporated.
Well, anytime that he gets going, Dick, you know, going off the last year in the playoffs, he had a wonderful season. This year he's struggling, only shooting 29% in threes, but you can see it tonight. It gives them an entire new look when he's hitting that long perimeter shot.
Jordan misses. Ostertag the rebound, and you're right. Russell and Morris each with 10 points off the bench tonight for the Utah Jazz.
Not bad. Now you look at that small forward position, giving you those numbers, and then keep giving you defense and rebounding. Because Pippen was great in the middle of the floor, making decisions, steals, but Pippen is not scoring tonight.
Isley hits a 3, so the Jazz have scored 3 trifectas the last 3 times down the floor to take the lead, 71-69, and this is their biggest lead of 2. And we have 1:15 remaining in the third quarter. This Utah crowd buoyed by a tremendous resurgence by the Jazz since the first quarter. Dominance by the Bulls.
Yeah, Michael wanted that ball.
And he misses his second straight shot, knocked away. Chicago ball, last touch by Malone.
Yeah, they reversed the ball to the other side of the floor, and then Michael broke the triangle and went and yelled for the basketball. Now, this is just a great pass by Malone, and you love it in this league when guys can hit that three-point shot at the new distance with a catch and no dribble. Just catch and elevate.
And then Isley hit the third three.
Now, that was off a nice screen, potential screen and roll, but you always have the step back when the defender goes under the screen.
Judd Buechler has come in along with Jason Caffey and Randy Brown with a minute to go in the third, and a 20-second timeout called by the Bulls. Antoine Carr checks in for Karl Malone, and it's unusual here that Michael Jordan, who normally sits down at the final moments of the second or first and the third quarter, is still in the game.
Oh, they can't afford to do that right now, because in the first half you did it because you had Pippen out there to run the team. Right now they're trying to win this ball game, so Michael is going to have to put in major minutes. Now, on that under out of bounds play, Dick, I was surprised that Buechler did not give. Longley was open on the first move, and Jordan was definitely open on the second.
Under a minute remaining now in this third quarter. Michael Jordan goes off the glass. Caffey with the offensive rebound, stripped away, and he'll call the play, defensive play on Russell. Good play on by Brian Russell.
That was a beautiful clear out for Michael. Once again, he got an excellent shot. High percentage shot. Now, he's missed his last 4.
Jordan is only 3 of 8 here in the third quarter, but he has 29. And the Jazz lead by 2. 12 on the shot clock, 35 on the game clock. Jordan, again he misses. 3 for 9 for Jordan shooting here in the third. And a differential of about 4+ seconds between the game clock and the shot clock.
And a major key in the second half. Chicago, no second shot attempts.
And that's a key for them. They're used to getting second shot attempts with great offensive rebounding, but not here. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Antoine Carr gets the shot off, but misses at the buzzer. And now playing for the last shot with a second to go. Jordan shot. And that didn't miss by much.
No. Almost a bank.
Jazz finished with a 9-0 run, and Karl Malone with 12 points in the third quarter on nearly perfect shooting. And what a game. After 3, 71-69 Jazz.
In the second quarter, 17-2. Third quarter, 9-0.
Scottie Pippen aggravated his hamstring pull, which we reported at halftime with about 8 minutes gone by in the third quarter on this play. This is where he came up lame, and he went out of the game. For a further report, here's Brian.
Thank you, Dick. I just talked with trainer Chip Schaefer, and he said that it is now unlikely that Scottie will return to the game. He has ice on it, and he's stretching, but he's putting all his sweats on right now, and I think that's it. Back to you.
All right, and so with Pippen, the second leading scorer, and Kukoc, who didn't play tonight, 2 of the top 3 scorers not in there for the Bulls the rest of the way.
Yeah, it puts a lot of pressure on Jordan and Longley. Now, right now, they're trying to get by with the second unit and Longley out here. They got to get Luke down inside where he can do some damage.
Randy Brown with the layup gets it high off the glass. Brown is in there with Burrell, Buechler, Caffey, and Luke.
Now, in the first quarter, the Bulls scored 35 points. In the next 2 quarters, 34.
Well, that speaks volumes, Hubie.
They're struggling from the field. Chicago shooting 44%, Utah 46%. Offensive rebounding, Chicago 11, Utah 7. Turnovers, Chicago 10, Utah 13.
And that's after Utah picked up 8 early turnovers. Jazz with Karl Malone, Antoine Carr, Brian Russell, John Stockton, and Shandon Anderson to start this fourth quarter. Stockton Stockton, and how many times have we seen that before on the cut?
Now that was a great pass by Karl Malone, because Malone can pass over the top of Caffey. I expect them to go through Malone now, because Karl, if he doesn't hit the cutters, can shoot over the top of Caffey.
And the Jazz more than doubling the Bulls' shooting output in the second half. Here is Buechler fighting for three, and he hits it with Shandon Anderson in his face. Never underestimate Jud Buechler coming in and making a clutch play.
I don't know how he does it. He only plays 10 minutes a game. He comes in, he's instant hot. He's hot right off the bat, and always with threes.
Anderson is fouled. It was Buechler on the trip.
Now keep an eye on the cutter. Look to the left of your screen. See Malone right over the top of Caffey. Nice cut by Stockton. They catch Randy Brown falling asleep looking for the double team. Now at this end, good play by Randy Brown. Randy's had a good night tonight setting up other people, and you love Buechler spotting up. He reminds you a lot of Kerr. He always runs to a favorite spot.
Steve Kerr, who has missed the last 10 games with a broken collarbone, and he is the best three-point shooter on the team and an outstanding free throw shooter as well. And he's out, as well as Kukoc. Now Pippen gone.
Oh, great.
Stockton with a scoop move. Goaltending is the call against Jason Caffey. Credit the basket to John Stockton.
Great move by John Stockton, and this might have been on its way up. Now you see, to me, I just thought it was right up at the top before it started to make it drop. But we're on the road here tonight, Chicago. You're not going to get many of those.
What do you mean by that? John Stockton, by the way, after a slow start, has 13 points and 12 assists, and Randy Brown gets knocked down, and they call Stockton for the foul, his first.
I tell you why that's funny, because as Brown was cutting through, he was going to collide with Stockton. He put his hands up on Stockton. Now keep an eye on this. Watch his hands. See he's used his hands? Now as soon as he used both hands on Stockton, Stockton shed him with that forearm. Could have been an offensive foul on Randy Brown.
Now remember, the Bulls are playing without Michael Jordan trying to hang in.
He stepped out of bounds.
Wasn't called. And Caffey looking, plenty of time on the shot clock. It's 75-74. The Jazz lead the Bulls.
You got to work through
Longley
this
pushed
guy.
by Carr, and finally Carr gets the ball. And here's John Stockton, 35 years old, with a needle pass to Shandon Anderson, and the basket counts and the foul. John Stockton looks like vintage Stockton on that foray.
Well, that was just a beautiful finish. Well, watch the eyes. He's sizing everything up. See, he caught him back at half court. He knew he was coming. And Shandon Anderson, with his size, 6'6", strong body, shooting 56% from the floor right now. He makes a lot of things happen. At the other end, Luke Longley. Stop trying to thread a needle. You can get an offensive shot at will.
Stockton, the all-time assist and steal leader in the NBA. Goes to tag. And Luke Longley, let's see what's going on. The Bulls out-rebounding the Utah Jazz. That's no surprise with the Bulls' history this year, and Rodman with only 4. That is a surprise, coming in leading the league.
They paid attention to him. A big stat in this game. Fast break points. In the first quarter, Chicago 19-2. Since then, Utah 18-2. Now that comes off of missed shots and also turnovers.
Pretty dramatic turnaround. Meanwhile, Michael Jordan back in the game. He has scored 29 points, 3 of 9 shooting, however, in the third quarter for Jordan, who took 19 shots in the first half. Dennis Rodman hits a jumper. Rodman with his first points of the game, and still without any defensive rebounds tonight.
Well, you know, he can make that shot. And for people who are saying, oh, how did he do that? But there was a time in this league he averaged 12 points a game.
That's right here. With the Detroit Pistons playing well both ways. That was
right.
Shandon Anderson with the lay-in and another nifty pass inside. It's 80-76, the Jazz lead. And 14 assists now for John Stockton.
Shandon Anderson, a very live body. You can play him at 2-guard or small forward.
8 on the shot clock. Randy Brown at the point. Now Brian Russell guarding Michael Jordan. Tough assignment. Jordan is fouled and will go to the line.
Yeah, he got hit. And Russell realized that, you know, you never foul a jump shooter, but he ran right into him. Dennis measured this one. The shot clock, they had plenty of time, but he knew he had it in a little familiar area for him right there. Comfortable, about a 15 to 16-foot shot attempt.
Michael Jordan, who could be making the final go-around, and from the likes of the story giving out of Chicago concerning Jerry Krause, the GM, saying that if Michael Jordan wants to leave, he'll leave on his own accord if there's a new coach, and there will be a new coach next year. So they're going to break up the old gang of ours, and this championship reign coming to an end. But a very surprising comment, since everyone knew what the ground rules were going into the year.
Absolutely, Dick. And, you know, you're saying, why? Why do we need this? Mainly because we knew this at the McDonald's Open in Paris. You know, it was spelled out for everyone at that time. But let's see what happens if they happen to go all the way and win a sixth championship.
Bryon Russell has hit his fourth three-point basket of the game, and the Jazz lead by 5. The Chicago Bulls again tested on the road. They lost to the Lakers by 25 on Sunday. They are only 6-8 on the road against plus 500 teams. And that's a far different story than what they're used to. Jordan comes back.
Well, look, for the first time in Michael's career, we're talking about a guy who, out of his career, is a 52 to 53% shooter. This year, 45. An excellent three-point shooter, up over 35%. This year, 23%. And even the foul shooting is down. And when you take as many shots as Michael takes and everything, you know that that affects the amount of points for the team.
No question. Great strip by John Stockton. Stockton going in, and Jordan not wanting to foul. John Stockton gives the Jazz a 5-point lead again. Stockton with 15 points. And he did not score in the first quarter tonight, and he's matched the points with 15 assists as well.
Yeah, John always has that tendency in the first quarter to get everybody else in the game, because he only plays 6 minutes, then they give him that rest.
Jordan with a turnaround. Rebound by Russell. A 5-point Jazz lead. Malone
almost.
And that was inside play.
That was a difficult catch for Paul. Paul's late coming back.
Caffey on the feed from Jordan is fouled, and he'll go to the line.
Yeah, Michael Jordan very upset. Caffey didn't send this one down. This should be a 3-point play. Now there's a good strip by Stockton. Let's face it, in the history of the NBA, he leads all the players who played in steals, #1, as well as assists, #1.
And here's that play in which Jordan expected Caffey to convert on the great pass inside.
Well, you're always hoping that these guys will finish strong, get the 2, go to the line, and get it through.
67% free throw shooter is Caffey, who makes good on the first. Antoine Carr picking up the personal foul.
Now, you know yourself, you're Jerry Sloan. Michael is going through one of those periods in a game where he just cannot make a shot. But you know that once he makes 1 and then 2, he could be off and running. He's 14 for 31 this evening.
Shandon Anderson blocked and a goaltend. This time Rodman guilty of goaltending, and Shandon Anderson gets credit for the basket.
Yeah, Jimmy Rogers and Phil Jackson both up on that one. Now Rodman comes. Watch for the left of your screen as this one is on its way up. See, Rodman catches that one. That's the second one that could have gone the other way.
And on the turnover, the Jazz get it back. They're up by 5, which matches their biggest lead of the game. They can establish their top lead after trailing by as many as 24 in the second quarter tonight. Karl Malone hits the shot. Malone now with 25, the biggest lead of the night for Utah.
Dick, in the first half, when they went to the small unit, meaning Chicago, that's when they ran off, Utah ran off that 15-0 run. Once again, they're in with the small unit with Rodman as the center, and Utah is answering the bell.
Well, the Utah Jazz right now would not have home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs. They are 2.5 games behind the San Antonio Spurs, and that is their best chance, Hubie, for not only home court advantage in the first round, but maybe beyond. So an important second half drive for them coming up.
And you know, last year, Dick, they were 36-5 in the second half of the season, but this year their schedule is much tougher. Now let's go to this game. In the first half, the Jazz shot 39%. In the second half, how about 18 for 24, 75% for the half.
What a dramatic and shocking turnaround on both sides as the Bulls started off with a clinic and they have quieted down. Dennis Rodman hits his second basket from the outside, and we won't ask again, are we surprised that Dennis Rodman could score, because he has done it in the past.
They ran the backdoor series and he just filled that gap, and no hesitation at all.
Like the way I asked and answered the question. 9 on the shot clock, under 6 minutes to go in the fourth. John Stockton with a miss and the rebound by Rodman. It is a 5-point Utah lead, and they have outscored the Bulls 62-43 ever since they were down by 24 in the second quarter tonight. Here is Caffey working against Antoine Carr. Great move against Carr, and he puts it in, gets the foul.
That was beautiful. Beautiful. See, Michael wanted the ball that time, but Utah defended him well as he ran a split as he went out. Now, Caffey, this is a great fake, and his ability to finish with his left hand.
Jason Caffey, who started in the game in Chicago, and played 8 minutes and did not score. Missed the free throw.
I thought that time Karl Malone was going to lay a elbow right into the face of Dennis Rodman.
That might have started a little.
Yeah, we don't need that here tonight. Right. This has been an excellent game. Everybody fighting hard.
And Malone trying to get the pass, running in this Caffey, and a foul is called. As you look at the shooting, Bulls have missed only 1 here in this fourth, and the Jazz only 2.
Now, on that lob pass, that Caffey definitely fouled Malone before he made the catch. But if you notice, Caffey is fronting Malone on the post-ups.
Caffey with 4 fouls now. 5 minutes remain in this well-played game between the two teams who reached the finals last year. Caffey now with his 5th foul, fouling Malone.
Yeah, bad foul. Bad foul. So you don't need to do that. I mean, you conceded the pass. Now you can't foul him because now you're putting him on the foul line to shoot 2. Now, Karl Malone leads the league in foul shot attempts at 9.5 per game. Michael Jordan is second at 9.3 attempts per game.
This is Malone's second trip to the line tonight, however. He connected on the first. Team fouls in the game for the Bulls. They've committed 2 team fouls, and the Jazz already 4, so their next foul will put them over the limit.
Well, we have to go back to Karl Malone in his third quarter, opening up with 6 big field goals, all jump shots facing the basket. So he has had very little time down in the low box area where he gets fouled a lot.
Blazers and Lakers coming up next on TBS. Karl Malone having a big night. And Malone now with 26 points, and John Stockton with 15 points and 17 assists. It's that duo again, getting the job done for the Jazz, along with the great bench work tonight.
You know, Chicago, great fake.
Jordan, and what a great basket by Jordan as he angled his way in. Michael with 35.
Yeah, he thought he was fouled. He looked at the referee. He definitely fooled everyone by making that quick move.
And the Bulls trail by only 2 as we get down to crunch time. 4.5 minutes remain in the fourth quarter. The Chicago Bulls, trying to win on the road. Anderson is fouled.
What a great pass by John Stockton. As he gets down into the area, he turns his back on the basket and then makes a move. Watch this. Now, to the right of your screen, there's Anderson, who's moving without the ball. He caught Brown looking at Stockton and ran a backdoor move.
John Stockton tonight.
You got to make the foul shots.
Stockton tonight has 17 assists in the game. His season's high coming into this one was 14 against the Seattle Sonics on Wednesday. Remember, he missed the first 18 games because of knee surgery. He also shooting 6 for 10 for 15 points. Shandon Anderson makes one, and the Jazz lead by 3.
You're Chicago, no Kukoc, no Pippen, all right?
And no Kerr.
Yeah, Kerr. But Jordan struggling with his shot, and you're right here in striking distance.
Jordan with 35, misses the reverse layup, and the rebound by Anderson nearly throws it away. Loose ball, and they're going to confer. It's going to be Utah's ball.
Yeah, Harper was looking to call a timeout, but he had no possession. Just a great move by Jordan, and almost a good follow-up by Rodman. You see right here, see, he's trying to call timeout. You can't call timeout as you're going over the line. That's the new rule this year. Plus, you have to have possession of the ball.
Michael Jordan before the game telling us that we can nullify our loss at home to the Jazz by beating them on their home court. And that's the goal of the Bulls with under 4 minutes to go, trailing by 3. But they were up by 24. Scoop shot by Stockton doesn't go, and the rebound Longley.
Luke gets it out here now. Chicago can make something happen.
Michael Jordan guarded by Brian Russell with 3:40 to go in the fourth quarter. Knocked away, and it is still Bulls ball. The Jazz don't agree, and neither does Mr. Sloan.
Yeah, Jerry's close because remember now, he's already had one technical. Jerry was so quick from his seat on the bench to the baseline, he could get a game here tonight.
Quicker than he was when he played for the Bulls.
Here's a clear out.
Jordan. Loose ball, Karl Malone.
See, Dennis, there it is.
Down goes Malone, and Rodman, and the double foul is going to be called.
I'll tell you what, Bennett Salvatore, and they both had it. Yeah, they had it right away. And this is what I told you before. Rodman is crashing in, going over the back, not getting the follow-up. Then when Malone has inside, he gets right up inside of Malone as Malone tries to pass out. Now this is going to be an interesting call because Bennett Salvatore, keep an eye right underneath the rim. Now what? See how Rodman's up in here now? See now as he gets rid of the ball, Rodman bumps and then Malone
Gets rid of him.
Yes.
Dennis Rodman will pick up his 5th foul. It is a double foul. Malone now with 4. And you got to give the officials great credit for anticipating it and getting in there and
Bennett Salvatore was all over that call, and he handled it the right way because it could have gone either way. They've been smacking one another. That's why I brought it out earlier.
Yes, you did.
Because you could see that this could ignite something here that we don't need. This has been a great game.
It has been a great game, befitting these two teams reaching the finals last year. Bulls trying to do to the Jazz what the Jazz did to them, went on the road. 11 on the shot clock. Hornacek has been quiet tonight.
Well, see, Michael won't leave him. See, Michael stays with him when he spots up. Nice pass.
Stockton gets it into Antoine Carr, and John Stockton now with 18 assists, averaging 8.5 coming in, and it's a 5-point lead for the Jazz.
Chicago just has to take their time. Just take their time and take good shots.
Here is Buechler missing a 3, and the rebound by Carr.
Big key, Dick. Chicago cannot get a second shot. As many shots as Chicago's missed, no second shot opportunity.
93 to 88, and a standing ovation for the Jazz, who had to fight way back in this game. A huge uphill climb, but the job's not done yet. Here's a feed. Carr, Malone, outside shot. He's got it, and a big basket.
They are #1 in assists. Now the guy at the point is making it happen, but everyone else now is caught up in making the extra pass.
28 now for Karl Malone as we get close to 2 minutes to go. Michael Jordan hits a 3. Jordan now with 38 points, and all of a sudden the Bulls down by only 4 with 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter of a classic game tonight here in Salt Lake City.
Now high screen and roll now. If Stockton cannot beat his man, watch Malone come and set the screen. Here it is.
And there's Harper with the foul.
That's right.
And for the Bulls, that's only their 3rd team foul. So they will still have 1 foul to give. Although I'm sorry, that is the first foul in the last 2 minutes. The next one will be a shooting situation. And
you're going to see the foul right here. Watch Harper wrap his arm right around John Stockton.
And now the Bulls over the limit. Yes, they're over the limit. I thought they had only 2. They had 4, so I was wrong. It's 5 fouls, and so Stockton on the line hits the free throw as Scott Burrell replaces Ron Harper.
There's plenty of time left in this game. When you play screen and roll with Stockton and Malone, you cannot give Stockton the baseline. But if you go over the top and follow him, well, then you're opening yourself up for him getting in the middle of the floor or you fouling him.
6-point lead for the Jazz with 1:45 to go, and that's an eternity in the NBA. John Stockton with 17 points, 18 assists. Russell is on Jordan. Jordan can't shoot that possession.
High screen and roll.
10 on the shot clock. Russell all over Jordan. Gets through. It's hit. Misses the shot. And Carr the rebound. A 6-point lead, and the Jazz have the ball with under a minute and a half to go in the fourth quarter.
Big thing right now is you don't need any unnecessary fouls. You just have to play good, tough defense and hope that Utah will miss.
Hornacek, who's been quiet tonight because of Jordan's play, and the rebound taken down by the Bulls. Bushler got it into the hands of Burrell. Look who the Bulls have on the court down the stretch. Bushler and Burrell. Rodman misses the shot, and he claims he was fouled. And a 20-second timeout will be coming up by the Jazz.
Yeah, see, Russell got hit in the head. Dennis Rodman took a very quick turnaround shot that time. Now, Rodman is hot. He's all over Bennett Salvador because he thought that he got fouled. Now, let's keep a look down inside. Now, Karl Malone is playing him. Now, he thinks he got hit. If he got hit, you know, there's a bad angle there. He must be saying that he got hit on the hand or on the wrist on the release.
20-second timeout called by the Jazz with 52.1 remaining in the fourth. The Jazz lead 97-91. That is a 2-possession game. The Bulls have 2 full timeouts remaining. The Jazz have 3 full timeouts. Neither team has a 20, and both teams are in the penalty.
Now, the Jazz have the basketball. The Bulls, it'll be interesting to see if they go to any type of trapping. They do have their small unit on the floor. Okay, if they go to any kind of trapping, go for the steal. If they don't have it, they might go for the foul. Otherwise, if they allow Utah to run off 24 seconds here right now, you're down 6. And then if they should do anything with this possession, that would make it a definite 3-point possession deal. I mean, a 3-possession deal.
Bulls are half a game behind the Indiana Pacers for the best record in the Eastern Conference. Indiana playing at Seattle later tonight. The Wizards beat Cleveland tonight 104-88 in a big game for Washington, but this game coming down to the finish with still a 2-possession game right now.
Yeah, main thing right now is Chicago's got to have to do a pressure decision now. You cannot allow them to come up and milk the clock. If they run off 24 seconds right now, you know, you're inside of 30, okay, and you don't want that to happen. The next thing is that means you've got to extend your defense. If you extend your defense, do you go for the steal first and then a quick foul, depending upon who has possession of the ball? Okay? Now, this will be an interesting call by the Chicago bench. At the other end, Chicago, we know, I mean Utah, we know they have 5 guys who shoot over 80% here. So right now you have to be careful with who you are going to foul. Now the ball is going to be moved up here to half court, okay, because of the full timeout, not the 20 seconds.
So now Utah has 2 full timeouts left plus the 20. And now we'll see how the Bulls play it. Brian Russell will inbound. They've got Antoine Carr, Karl Malone, Hornacek, and Stockton. It goes to John Stockton with 18 on the shot clock, 50 on the game clock, 6-point Utah lead.
Now they're going to just play him straight up. So big thing for John, just run the clock.
Malone trying to set a screen, and he does for Stockton. Stockton going in with a shot off the glass. The rebound by Michael Jordan. And now with 35 plus remaining, it's a 2-possession game. Here is Ron Harper. Nowhere to go on the baseline. Randy Brown, great block by Karl Malone. And here is Malone on the other end against Jordan. And Malone gets the basket, and that may ice it.
Great play at the defensive end by Karl, and a not-so-easy finish on the long pass at the other end of the block.
Malone and and Jordan, the two top scorers. Here is the defensive gem by Karl Malone.
Now, this is a great recovery right here. Stockton frees it. Hornacek looks, makes. Now, look at this right here. That's a tough off-balance shot by Malone.
Timeout, Chicago. (99-91) Utah with 20.1 seconds remaining, and when you want to look at the elite in the NBA, both of these teams are there.
You know, when you talk about home court, Dix, you know, you talk about Seattle with a great home court record, Chicago with a great home court record, and then always include the Utah Jazz.
19-4 at home this year, and a chance to make it 20-4. The Bulls with one timeout left. Utah has two timeouts plus the 20, and Ron Harper will inbound. It's an 8-point game, and the Bulls have to score in a hurry. Jordan gets two quick ones, and it's 99-93. Jordan with 40 points tonight. Hornacek, they're going to have to foul. Pass going to Malone.
Give it to him for the win.
And here is Antoine Carr. The Bulls did not foul, and it's 101-93 with 8.4 on the clock. But what a tremendous reversal from the first quarter of this game when the Bulls were running away to the Utah Jazz, ending up sweeping the Chicago Bulls this year, winning in Chicago and winning here in Salt Lake City. The final score.